She parked her car across my driveway like she owned the place. That was her first mistake. I had just inherited my aunt's house, and before I could even unlock the front door, a white SUV sat sideways across my driveway. Not crooked, not careless, but deliberate. The kind of parking job that says, I dare you to complain. I stepped out of my truck, took in the October air, and that's when she appeared. Clipboard first, smile second, authority third. You can't park here, she said, scanning me like I was a suspicious package. This is an HOA community. I pointed behind me. That's my house. She smiled wider. That was Louise's house, and I don't know who you are. Ah, there it was, Karen. The house stood exactly as I remembered. 2 stories of weathered clapboard, a wraparound porch that leaned like it had secrets, and a chimney that had been crooked longer than I'd been alive. Built in 1952, long before beige houses multiplied like copy-paste errors. Karen cleared her throat. While you're here, there are compliance issues. The paint, the fence, the lawn. My aunt died 3 weeks ago. She nodded sympathetically while writing something down anyway. I'll move my car when I'm ready, she added, already walking away. I stood there, staring at the SUV still blocking my driveway, realizing 2 things at once. Karen thought I was powerless, and Karen had absolutely no idea who she'd just picked a fight with. I didn't argue. I didn't flash a badge. I smiled. Because you learn everything about people when they think you can't do anything back. Karen thought she was issuing fines. What she was really doing was leaving fingerprints. I waited 15 minutes. Karen's SUV didn't move, so I parked on the street and walked inside the house that still smelled like lavender and old books. Aunt Louise's house didn't feel empty, it felt paused, like she'd just stepped out and expected me to keep things in order. That's when I found the box. Tucked in her closet behind winter coats, an innocent-looking cardboard file box filled with 15 years of HOA violation notices, paint color, fence height, grass length, mailbox shape, holiday decorations that were apparently too festive, thousands of dollars in fines. At the very bottom sat a lawyer's letter dated years earlier. This property is not subject to HOA authority. It is grandfathered. Louise had known. She'd just been too tired to fight. Outside the kitchen window, Karen stood next to her SUV, laughing on the phone, blocking my driveway like it was her personal throne. The next morning, I found a violation notice in my mailbox. $200 fine, unregistered vehicle, my truck, in my driveway. That's when I stopped being polite. County records confirmed everything. Deed from 1952, separate parcel number, 0 HOA jurisdiction. Even the HOA management company admitted off the record that my address wasn't in their system. Karen was sending fake fines on purpose. I went next door. This is fraudulent, I told her calmly. She smiled. People always say they'll fight. They never do. She shut the door in my face. I didn't get angry. I bought cameras. Because Karen thought this was a paperwork game. I knew better. Karen wasn't enforcing rules. She was writing her own confession, one violation notice at a time. Karen brought witnesses. She forgot to bring permission. 3 days later, I woke up trapped. A black pickup sat inches behind my truck, parked on my driveway like it belonged there. No note, no warning, just entitlement on 4 wheels. When I checked my cameras, I saw it clearly. 3:17 a.m., lights off. Driver walked straight toward Karen's house, and right on schedule, Karen was waiting at the sidewalk when I stepped outside, clipboard ready, smile sharpened. You're in violation, she announced. Your truck isn't HOA registered. She brought backup this time. Neighbors, witnesses, an audience. Then she made her fatal move. She called a tow truck. The driver took one look at the scene, my driveway, my property line, and shook his head. I can't tow from private property without the owner's permission or police order. Karen puffed up. I'm the HOA president. The driver squinted at me. Wait, I know you. That's when Karen's smile cracked. Sheriff Cole? He asked. I didn't say a word. Silence swallowed the driveway. The neighbors suddenly found the sidewalk fascinating. Karen whispered, You're a sheriff? 1 county over, I said calmly. But this, I gestured to the pickup blocking my driveway, that's trespassing. I turned to the driver. Tow that one. The pickup was gone in under 5 minutes. Karen stood there clutching her clipboard like it was oxygen. I leaned closer. You might want to talk to a lawyer, and for the first time since this started, Karen didn't have anything to say. If you're enjoying this story, now's the time to help it travel. Like, comment where you're watching from, Michael Slime for subscribe for more stories like this. Her clipboard couldn't save her this time. 2 weeks later, the last violation notices were gone. The Escalade was gone. Karen Holloway, once untouchable, had retreated. But I knew better than to think she'd surrendered. She was just regrouping. I kept documenting everything: emails, HOA letters, camera footage, witness statements. 15 years of harassment and fraud neatly stacked, ready for anyone who needed to see the truth. Deputy Rise arrived promptly when called. She reviewed everything: the 14 days of video, the deeds predating the HOA, screenshots of Karen's defamatory posts, and interviews with neighbors like Tom Bradock, who remembered the entire slow grind of her intimidation tactics. The evidence was airtight. The district attorney filed charges: misdemeanor harassment, misdemeanor fraud, and trespassing. Karen's kingdom crumbled. She hired a lawyer, pleaded no contest to harassment and fraud, received probation, community service, fines, and had to pay partial restitution to my aunt's estate. The HOA scrambled in the background, fearful of liability, and removed her as president unanimously. Weeks later, her house went up for sale. Within 3 weeks, it was gone. A young family moved in, full of hope, unaware of the battle that had raged there for over a decade. Slowly, the neighborhood changed. People who once feared her authority now smiled, waved, and greeted me in passing. I restored Louise's home, keeping her memories intact: the crocheted blankets, the wind chimes, the garden. I found her journal tucked in the nightstand. One entry stood out: "Sometimes I wonder if I should have fought back. Marcus would have. He's never been afraid of standing up for what's right." Louise had survived, endured, and paid silently. I hadn't inherited her silence. I inherited her courage. Spring returned to Maple Drive: green lawns, laughing children, the scent of flowering dogwoods, and in the quiet I placed Karen's apology note on top of the box of violation letters, smoothing it flat with my palm. No signature, no accountability, just acknowledgement. Some things you keep, not because they change the past, but because they complete the story. And for Louise, the story finally had its ending.